Hi, Neil here with Covers Camo, your source for custom seat covers. Today, we're doing the install on the 2023 Genesis GV60. Awesome looking set with the sheepskin seat covers inside here today. Pearl is the color. It's looking awesome. Let's do this install. We'll show you all the steps of how to get these seat covers on. Let's do it. All right, so we're getting started on this install on the 2023 Genesis GV60. I have the passenger seat done already, and the driver seat is the one I'll show you how we're gonna install. It's gonna be the same steps for the passenger seat. So that one's all done there, and I'll show you the steps on this console as well, just so you can see that, and also the steering wheel. Those are pretty easy. The main things that we're going to focus on with the instructional video will be how to get this backrest on and also the headrest cover. The backrest and bottom, and then headrest cover as well. So first up, here's the console lid cover. Now, this is an option. You can add a console lid cover. The back portion of it has this part of the fabric that's going to go in between right here, and that slot back there, it's going to slide in. And then there's two straps of Velcro that are going to attach up. And I'm actually just going to use this lower strap, and this one I'm just going to tuck into the sides just to give it enough space to close down right here. It's a pretty tight console, and we really don't need to have, it's kind of overkill to have the second set of straps of Velcro right there. So first thing I'm going to do is actually lift this lid cover up, or this lid up, and then slide in this fabric right here. So you can see I have this in place now. Again, this portion with the cutout is here for that push button for the console, and here's that fabric I was talking about that I pushed that through down right there, and so it's in place now, again tucked into the back right there. Make sure it's even right here like that. And now what we can do is connect this bottom Velcro, and I'm actually just going to tuck this Velcro in on the sides and not use this Velcro. I'll leave it for the customer if they want to ever pull that out and decide to use it, but it's not really needed right now. So I've tucked those side pieces of Velcro in up here just because I'm not going to be using them right now. I've attached this Velcro down here, and that is all in place and looks good there. Sometimes on these consoles, since you're adding a little bit extra fabric with the seat cover, it's going to be a little bit of a tighter close than it was before, and you may just need to, when you bring it down like that, you may just need to give it a little pop. Just push it down a little bit harder, and then it'll still pop up like that just fine. So there we go, like that. There's the console cover's done now, looking good, and we'll move in to the rest of it. All right, so now we're working on the driver seat here. Here's the driver cover. It is labeled the driver backrest here. So got that. So that's gonna be the backrest here. There's gonna be an opening up here for the headrest sections. And then here's the bottom portion of the seat. Here's your elastics with the hooks that are gonna go on underneath the seat. Strap on there. I'll show you how to put those on. And I'll actually start working on the bottom portion first. On sheepskin, this is actually a connected backrest and bottom piece right here. So what we'll do is work with the bottom first, get that kind of in place, and then reach this backrest up. And again, you can see the passenger side is already done, connected right there. You don't see it, but it almost looks like it's two pieces, but it is one piece connected right there. So start working on the bottom, fitting the bottom in first here. So on this particular pattern, there's going to be two front hooks right here, two side hooks right here and the other side, and then also two hooks that actually go through the seat bottom and backrest, push through right there underneath. And all of these hooks are going underneath the seat, going onto a solid bar. Not any electrical cables. Try to avoid any electrical cables. The other thing that's going to help with this is if you have electric seats, raise this all the way up as high as it'll go, because that'll give you a little bit more space underneath there. Also, as you're getting ready to do this step where you're strapping these on underneath the seat, grab your safety glasses. I have been whipped back in the face, and so make sure you put on some safety glasses as you're doing this, because you're going to be reaching underneath the seat and trying to find that place, and sometimes these elastics can whip back, so make sure you put on safety glasses here. All right, so if you reach underneath the seat, there is going to be an elastic that has this little hook on it from the original seat manufacturer, and you're just going to release that for now. You can see over here, I released that before, put straps underneath it, and now hooked it back on. So we'll hook this back on after we're done with the install, but we need to open that up right now so we can get underneath here, and you can just kind of get it out of the way by pushing it up here in the back of the seat. And I have started to push through the straps. So here's the two straps that are going to go through the spot between the backrest and the seat bottom. So those are going to pull through right here. Now these are going to pull through. I'm going to pull them tight, go underneath, and hook on again to a solid spring. The solid springs look like a little gray metal bar. Kind of tough to show you underneath here, but they're these curved kind of gray little bars underneath the seat, and that's to help keep the whole seat material up and in place. And we're going to hook onto those, and I'll see if I can get a better view for you here shortly. But these two are going to go through right here, and then this one on the side here, that's actually going to push through a small hole on the side. I'll show you. So this side hook, this strap right here, we're actually going to go through this space right here. We're going to pass it down right through there, and then we're going to grab it from the bottom and reach underneath and hook it onto the seat. So I'm going to use two hands, kind of push with one hand on the seat right there, and then take the other hand and push this through right there. Now for this inside strap right here, this one also needs to pass down to the bottom of the seat. We're going to go just in front of the seat belt right here, and there's a little gap that you can push it down. Same type of deal between the plastic and the actual seat cushion, and you can drop that down right there. Definitely helpful if you have two hands to do that, but we're going to be passing it down right there again between the seat plastic and the seat cushion. That's where that one's going to pass down. So here's my 4 straps so far. The 2 side straps, these 2 back straps right here, and I've actually hooked the 2 side straps together, and you could actually do that. It may be a little bit easier for you than finding a solid bar underneath, but if you want to kind of keep it locked down and a little bit more, it would be better to put on, hook it onto a solid spring, but this would work too. Okay, so you could hook them together like that. And now the next step is hook these down, pull them nice and tight, and put those onto a solid spring. But what I was going to say is that before I completely tighten that up, I'm actually going to hook the backrest up and over, because if you lock this down really tight, then it's kind of tough to get your backrest over. So I'll actually do that right now. So I'm going to take this backrest and take this up and over, hook it up and over the backrest portion. Right now, here's the side airbag section. You can see here, this is the driver airbag blowout section right there. That way, if your airbag needs to deploy, it'll blow through that section. There's like a Velcro piece right here and down below right there. So I'll get that hooked up and over now. Now that I have the backrest hooked over loosely, I'm going to finish tightening down the bottom here with those back straps there. I get those side straps hooked onto a solid bar, and then also take these front straps and hook those down next. So here's a good view of the underside of the solid spring. So here's a solid spring right here, and you can take those hooks and hook it onto that, and that's just a solid piece underneath the seat. That's not going to be moving around. It's just a good solid bar to hook onto. So I got a couple of the hooks on there, and I think I got another one. Yep, another one over here. right there. So those are good spots to hook those onto. Again, wear your safety glasses as you're doing this. You hook those on, or like I was saying earlier, like side to side, you could hook them together. That would work. And then here's one from the front, hooked onto a solid spring right there. Sometimes if I want to shorten the elastic up a little bit, just to, depending on the length, I will tie a knot in it, and so that shortens that elastic and then just gets a little bit more of a tight pull on it. So you could do that, just tie a knot, you know, in itself, and then shorten that elastic a little bit before you hook it on. So I have all the straps for the bottom part of the seat cover down and hooked on, so that's looking good. I'm just gonna check my fitment, make sure everything's looking good here. Should be lined up right here as well. Here's that strap that we dropped down earlier. You can hardly even see it now, and that's always nice when you can get it inside this plastic. So then it just trims out a lot better like that. And then got these straps hooked underneath as well, nice and tight. So that's looking good there. Now we need to work on the backrest some more. So these two straps on the lower part of the backrest, what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna take them and run them right underneath the seat. So like right here, like that, and then run it underneath here and then down to that solid bar right there. And that way, the only portion of this strap you're gonna see is just this kind of side portion, and then following along, it's gonna tuck underneath here, and the rest of it's gonna be covered by this flap when you put this flap back down. So I'll start doing that. I'll just pull these nice and snug, reach underneath, and hook those onto a solid bar there. All right, so I have that tucked underneath right here on that side, and then over here as well. So we are good now. Since we have everything hooked up underneath, all the straps are gonna be going underneath, we can take this back down here and then clip these back on. There's kind of a little plastic slot that you reach underneath and stick these, you know, hook these back on, and then we'll get that nice and tight on the back side there. Once you have all the straps down and the seat cover in place where you want it, now we're gonna make some slits for the headrest post. So you can see the little hole underneath here for the headrest. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take some scissors and actually just cut this Velcro from the right here all the way up to right there. And then we're gonna tuck that Velcro underneath this headrest so it exposes the headrest. I'll show you how we do that. All right, so I've cut these little slits right here in the Velcro. And now what we're gonna do is take this Velcro and tuck that underneath this section right here so it'll expose this receiver for the headrest post. So that's what we're going for right there. Tuck that underneath like that, and then we'll do the same thing with this one over here. Now that we have both of those exposed, the Velcro tucked underneath, you can take this cover, or this back side of the cover, and stick that hook Velcro onto the loop Velcro right there. Once I've stuck that on, now what I'm gonna do is actually take this part of the cover and actually reach it back underneath and tuck it underneath this headrest post receiver. All right, so now I've tucked that underneath right there, underneath that plastic, and so then it gives access for this little button to depress if you ever need to take the headrest back off. And that finished up the backrest section there. Now we're gonna do the driver headrest cover. Here's the headrest right now. Here's the sheepskin seat cover for it, custom. And here's, it says F on the front, so there's front right there. This big kind of longer piece is gonna be on the front. That way it curves underneath like that, nice, right there. And so we will start putting this on. You're just gonna slide it over and then attach the Velcro. Pretty simple install on this one. So I've pulled the cover over the headrest. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna fold the corners of this wide Velcro in like this right here, and then attach up the middle section of this headrest Velcro right here. Just use both hands, pull nice and tight, and stick on that Velcro. All right, so I got that stuck on there now. So that's good right there. And you know, the other thing I could have done is you could make, you know, if you didn't want to do this method, you could leave it and just make a slit in that Velcro and attach it on the sides right there. That would be another way to do that. Or you could fold the sides. That is definitely gripping enough. So that'd be one way to do it, like that. But the other way was we could cut a slit in it and then slide it through. So the headrest is on now. It's looking good. Underneath here, there's a few spots kind of not covered underneath here, but that's going to be the underside. So you're really not going to see that once we push that in up here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that headrest put in there. And I will need to recline this seat back because it's pretty tall headrest post. So I'm going to recline that seat back quite a bit, and then we'll push this in. All right, got that headrest in there now. Here's the finished look right there. That all went well. We did that lid cover, backrest, bottom, headrest, looking sweet. All in the sheepskin pearl color, and nice. Love it. On the passenger, the only thing that was a little different on the passenger seat, over here it does have these unique Genesis controls for the seat, so you can like move the seat back, forward, things like that. But so there was a cutout on that passenger seat. Other than that, passenger and driver just about the same. Install is going to be the same either way. So looks great. Here's a little note on the sheepskin steering wheel cover. Really easy install on these. Just hook it up at the top first, and then you're going to reach down with the other hand, pull down, and just pull it over like that. Very simple install on that one. Just pulls over. Nice to have a matching steering wheel cover. Keeps it nice and warm in the winters. We live here in Utah, and it gets real cold in the winters here, so nice to be able to hold something that's warm when you're driving to the gym in the early cold mornings. So here's another cool little add-on. This is the sheepskin seatbelt cover, matching seatbelt cover. As you can see right here, you fold this over and stick this Velcro on right there. I'm just doing it with one hand right now. I'll get it on a little bit better here in a second. But then you have a matching sheepskin seatbelt cover. Pretty sweet. Thanks so much for watching this video. Again, this has been Neil here with Covers and Camo, your source for custom seat covers. To get seat covers ordered for your vehicle, go to coversandcamo.com. Thank you.